What will we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What will we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When someone is being targeted and they may not be able to get help or immediate help, what will you do?
Stand up, fight back.
What will you do?
Stand up, fight back.
What will you tell your uncle to do?
Stand up, fight back.
What will you tell your aunt to do?
Stand up, fight back.
When you are around chaos and calamity, when there are people who are exuding white supremacy, what will you do?
Stand up, fight back.
What will you do?
Stand up, fight back.
All right now. And that is not something that we are just declaring on a Thursday. That is something that we will take forward into each and every day. Because that is how we will heal. That is how we will support and contribute to this community. By not just waiting until someone is killed for us to feel empathy. Not just waiting for someone to be killed for us to acknowledge that their life was of value. Yeah. Not waiting for someone to be killed to say maybe they were in need of help. And we could have helped them. We could have done something. We could have stepped out and reached and allowed them to get out of the margins. That is what we are declaring here today. That we will not accept any injustice. We will fight back and we will denounce white supremacy. We will denounce any racist system. Yeah. We will abolish the racist system here. We must abolish these systems. Family, as we have been saying here at the Stonewall protest, the idea of reform is silly. I said this before during the summer. If the KKK said that they are going to reform their policies, would you and your family go put on a hood? No. So reform doesn't work. It does not work. If we have got to teach people to love us, if we have got to teach someone to protect me, it does not work. If someone is working under law enforcement, and we have got to teach them that my life matters, that as a black trans man, that I will not be put into a man's prison, that I should not even be arrested, because it is my right, it is our right to be on these streets. It is our right to fight for our freedom. And it is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. Family, I would love for y'all, I want to call in the spirit of Asante Shakur to the space. I would love, family, for you to recite it with me. Recite it loud, recite it proud, because these are not only declarations, these are going to be personal testimonies. These will be personal affirmations that we take into each and every day. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
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 It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
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 Thank you, family. Yes. Family, before we continue, I would love to call our brother Relly to the stage. Relly. Can somebody give him something? Family, it is what is important, family, as a community, is that we teach each other. What is important as a community, that we continue to educate one another. That when we make mistakes, when we do something that is not right, that we can come together as a community and not only have accountability, but we can make right. We can make things right. Do y'all believe that?
Yeah.
Do y'all believe that?
Yes.
Because as a community, we are stronger together. We all are stronger together. If you believe that this fight is one-sided, we are sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. If you think that liberation and that this revolution is over, you are sadly mistaken. Because this fight is not over. This fight is not over. The fight did not end when we had gay marriage. This fight did not end when we elected Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. This fight did not end when the folks took over the Capitol during the insurrection. Family, we've got to remain vigilant. We've got to remain alert. This fight is not over when 8 powerful, beautiful Asian community members are killed. It is not over. It is not over. It is not over when we have so many beautiful black people still contracting HIV. It is not over that 1 in 2 black people will contract this virus in their lifetime. It is not over. It is not over. Family, I would love to call my brother into the space because they have something to share. And I would love for you all to listen, really fully listen and take heed to notice. Because it is moments like this when we can listen, when we can understand, and we can truly transform. Are y'all ready to transform? Yeah. Y'all ready to transform? Yeah. Y'all make some noise and show some love for our brother.
You are ready? You okay?
All right, thank y'all.
Hi, Billy!
All right. Yeah, I usually just go off the top of the head and everything, but I wanted to make sure, I touch on everything. To those that don't know me, my name is Raleigh. I come from Jersey. I've been out here for 10 months, fighting. Since City Hall, I've been nonstop. I've joined every movement I can. I'm here to fight, to take down the system. That's what I'm out here fighting for. But I started organizing like 3 months ago. And I just want to tip my hat off to the other organizers because you have to be mentally strong to do this shit, man. It's so much you have to do. You got to be mentally strong just to be out here protesting, period. There's so much we got to go through as far as on the social media with our families and friends that don't know nothing we going through until you have to actually be out here. I don't know, it's something new tearing me down every week as far as tearing down my character. Since I've been an organizer, I'm learning to like ignore it and just, if it don't apply, let it fly, man. That's one thing I got to learn to do, and that's what I'm doing now. And this week something was posted about me in the Post, in the New York Post. I don't know if everybody's seen it, but I can't ignore it. I can't, I'm not even gonna give an excuse for it. All I can do is apologize for the things that I said. I want to apologize to the Asian community for the language I used, regardless of the fact that it was taken out of context. And my tactics, the thing is, we want to get rid of that language, period, altogether. And even though it was part of my tactic, it's still hurtful to hear. Even like when I seen the video, from my family to my comrades, I know it shocked them. And shit, man. All right, man. My whole thing when I went at the cop, it was, that's what I do when I go in front of these cops. I fight this with hate. I want them. I'm 38 years old, and I've been protesting since I was 14. My first protest, was the first Million Man March back in 96, 97, and I've been protesting ever since then. I threw my own protest back in 11th grade. You dig what I'm saying? It was some things going on there, but I threw my own, and I was successful. I won it, but I got what I wanted. But like I said, when I step in front of these cops, I give them that rage and hate that I feel, because like I said, I'm 38 years old, and they profile me. And when I stand in front of them, that's what it is. It was profiling. I never meant to hurt anybody outside of that man, and I ended up hurting a lot of people. So I just want to apologize for the language I said, man. And I just, as an organizer, I have to be better. I will be better, and I'll continue to do better. Yeah. Thank y'all for supporting me. Yeah. Oh, thank y'all. Yeah. Next up, Queen Jean.
Yeah. Y'all show some love for our brother, brother. Okay, oh God. Thank you, family. It is moments like this when we can really connect. It is in these moments that we are saying that we are going to bridge the gaps. That this circle is not broken, it is open. It is an open circle where we will come in and come out. Where people that need will be able to get the mutual aid that we will hopefully and that we will provide. Because if we are dependent on a community, that will be the true grace. Oh yes. Family, I would love to call next our sibling up tonight. As we know, family, it was brought to our attention last week that another trans angel was killed. Come on now, Miss Rihanna. She was killed while she was running away from someone that was going to harm her. And they forced her to run into an oncoming car. Shame. 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 That family, this is real. This is a state of emergency. This is a state of emergency. Every week that another black trans person is killed, every week that a trans sibling is being harassed, every week that another community member is truly targeted because of the race and the color of their skin, because of the way that they show up in this world. And that is something that we cannot accept, and we will not accept it. So at this moment, I would love for us to please shift our attention to our sibling Nep tonight. Please, thank you.
Hi everyone, thank y'all for showing up and for listening. I have an offering. I want to sing a song in honor of the fallen black trans women and Asians that have been taken away from this world. I'm gonna sing a song, but instead of ending in cheers and clapping, I want to have a moment of silence right afterwards. And excuse me if I stumble, I'm just getting a little emotional thinking about this.
We're good. We love you. We love you.
I've been seeing angels in my living room, that I've walked the sun and I've slept on the moon, covered in the fragrance of their own perfume, telling me the stories coming true. Well, you see these angels see the light. Yeah, I've had my troubles alright. I've been seeing angels. Ooh, they hold on to their secrets and tone our memories. We float above horizons and sail across the seas. I hope for better days, and rainy times are tough. The angels give me strength, and I'm not giving up. So I wipe away my tears, I unveil my pain. They're brushing off my shoulders, and I hold on to their stain. I've been seeing angels, 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 angels. Ooh. May the black trans angels and Asian angels rest in paradise. They deserve everything this universe has to offer. We don't have time for this hate, for this racism, for this oppression Olympics. That is a divide and conquer tactic. They're trying to pit us against each other. So whatever comes our way, do not fall for it, please. Thank you for listening. Y'all make some noise for them tonight. We love you enough tonight. Oh gosh. Family, at this moment, I would really love for us to do an invocation and really honor the life of Rayana Pardo, who was 26 years old. 26 years old. And Rayana was not someone who was fleeing from her home. She was truly loved by her family, by her mother, by her sisters. They accepted and treasured who she was evolving into. That she was a beautiful woman. Say her name, Rayana Pardo. Say her name.
Rayana Pardo.
Say her name.
Rayana Pardo.
Say her name.
Rayana Pardo.
Say her name.
Rayana Pardo.
Say her name.
Rayana Pardo.
Justice for.
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 Rayana Pardo.
Rihanna was only 26 years old. The reality is, family, we know that black trans people, our life expectancy is 35. But even in this last year, even in 2020, that the sum of our life expectancy was dropped down to 29. This is not something that is just a statistic. This is our reality. This is the reality for black trans people. So when we come out, when we are demanding justice, when we are saying, no justice,
No peace.
no justice,
No peace.
no justice,
No peace.
we mean it. We mean it. We will not stop fighting until we get liberation. We will not stop fighting until our trans individuals are free. Until black trans people are free. Until black trans people are free. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No, it won't. Say no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No, it won't. Say no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No, it won't. There is no weapon here. There is no fear here. There is no white supremacy allowed here. Not here, not ever.
Nowhere.
Family, I would love to call into the space our sibling, our beloved Rohan, the founder of the Blazing March. Make some more noise, family. Make some noise. Show some love. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black women matter.
Black women matter.
Justice for Asians.
Justice for Asians.
Freedom for Asians.
Freedom for Asians.
Power to Asians.
Power to Asians.
Black power.
Black power.
Asian power.
Asian power.
Black power.
Black power.
Asian power.
Asian power.
Black power.
Black power.
Asian power.
Asian power.
My name is Rohan and I am an Asian American. As much as I am a black American. And I want to thank everyone coming out today because we are stepping into a centuries-long legacy of Black Asian solidarity. As far back as the 1800s, when the government sought to first exclude
Asian immigrants, specifically Asian women. During the Page Act of 1875, abolitionist black people like Frederick Douglass spoke up and had a whole speech about why that was wrong, why that was supremacy. To the civil rights era, we had Yuri Kochiyama, who organized with Malcolm X. To Grace Lee Boggs, who organized with Martin Luther King and married a black man named James Boggs. And in our own LGBT history, we have Tamara King, a trans Asian American woman who stood up at the Compton cafeteria uprising against police brutality. And 3 years later, in this very building, Sure, whatever. Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera would do something similar and fight against police brutality and fight against white supremacy. And I say this specifically to our queer people, our queer Asian and queer black people in this space. Our queerness is beautiful. Our queerness, our transness is beautiful. It is something we have actually inherited from our ancestors. To my Asian community, I speak now when I say these examples of how beautiful our queer Asian history is. In China, we have the Emperor Ai of the Han Dynasty, who had a male lover. And according to the legendary story, he actually did not want to disturb his lover while he was asleep, so he cut his own sleeve so that the man could sleep undisturbed. In India, we have multiple genders that were normalized and appreciated until colonization. And in my beloved Philippines, we have the Babaylons, and they were the women leaders of the community. They were leaders that we understand now to be trans and gender non-conforming people. They were the leaders and healers of our community. And that is clear proof that as queer and trans Asians, we are so powerful. And I know, I love this quote from Sandra Oh because she said, "It is an honor just to be Asian." And I say yes, and it is the greatest honor to be a queer Asian. It is the greatest honor to be a trans Asian. And I say the same to my black people. Our queerness, our transness, our beauty is also just as ancient and just as inherited. In Egypt, as far back as the 5th dynasty, there's evidence of men who were buried together so that they could live in the afterlife together. In the ancient king of Dahomey, modern-day Benin, there were 7 forms of marriage. And in Uganda, modern-day Uganda, the last king, the King Mwanga II, was bisexual. So when they say we are kings and queens, I say yes we were and yes we are. And I know we are surviving a very, very white space right now, that's fine. Can't wait to smash that shit up. So, they do, hey girl. I also have to speak on, you know, when they always say love is love. But for us, we are decolonizing love. We are returning to the old ways. Because given our history, our true, queer, black and Asian history, what better way to honor the ancestors than by honoring yourself? What better way to revere the ancestors than by revering yourself? And what better way to love the ancestors than by loving yourself exactly as you are? No matter what white supremacy says. My family, we have a long history of coming together. Centuries of trade between the African and Asian empires. It is a long history that they seek to erase. Just as a few weeks ago, they sought to erase parts of the Vietnamese community. A few weeks ago, 33 Vietnamese folks were deported under the Biden administration. And I can't help but remember when Joe Biden was running around the White House with the pride flag. And I would love to ask him how many of those people were gay? How many of them were queer? How many folks were deported? Because that is also a hate crime. That is the embodiment of the phrase, go back to your country. A country that this nation on this stolen land destroyed. A country that is still recovering. The people who were deported are refugees from what this country did. Not just the landmines, but Agent Orange and all the other chemicals they use on people that we're not allowed to learn about. So my family, the work is not done. The work is nowhere near done. As long-standing as our history is, the road is also just as long-standing, but we are here together to do it. Kimberly Crenshaw, a black woman, coined the term intersectionality. And I believe that the struggles that we're going through right now, with the extreme rise in white supremacy, with the mass deportations of Vietnamese, Haitian, Indian, all the other communities, our struggle is also intersectional. But if our struggle is intersectional, then our power is also intersectional. With intersectional struggle comes intersectional power. And we have to acknowledge that every day when we do this work. So I want to leave you all with a few quotes. The first is from a black gay man from the civil rights era named Bayard Rustin. And he was a strong advocate for Indian independence from the colonizers. And he said, you have to join every other movement for the freedom of the people. And the last one, I'll have to look it up because I'm tired. It's been a long few weeks. Oh my God.
Take your time.
Also, shout out to Asians for Abolition. Asians for Abolition, they were there all summer, ride or die for Black lives, and these past few weeks, I just loved each and every one of them. After the news of the mass shooting, we were able to coordinate 3 vigils for the community, and I am so proud of Asians for Abolition, a women and LGBT collective. Okay, the last quote is from Grace Lee Boggs, and she said, the only way to survive is by taking care of one another. Thank you. Make some noise for her. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Before we continue, family, just a quick announcement. If there are any folks that here in this space that will be supporting us with safety tonight, if you're a biker, please join our siblings on the east side. And so, yeah, you can read it right there if you want to help us with bikes tonight. Thank you. Shout out to the bikers! Make some noise! I love you, bikers. Before we continue to our next angel, I really just want to share something that is so important for us to really receive. This idea of when people are out in the streets, when people are fighting for their rights. Hold on, my chat? Oh, there you go. All right. When we are fighting for our rights, when we are fighting for the very right to live, the very right for us to have equal access, equal opportunities for employment, fair opportunities to have a job, to be able to be promoted, to have real access to a house, to move us out and transition us from moments of crisis, where we can be in a moment of salvation, when our communities, all black people, can be free. Okay? These are the things that we are fighting for. But the reality is that the enemy will label us as terrorists. Hold on now. Can we have this discussion, family?
Yeah.
Can we have kitchen table talk?
Yeah.
All right now.
Come on.
The reality is, family, that we will be painted negatively because we are fighting for our siblings, that we are fighting for the very access to the very things that we all have, the very things that America has robbed. Even on this land, it is not ours, it is not American land. But they will own it, they will claim it. They will not label the folks that killed Emmett Till a terrorist. They will not name the people who bombed the 4 black angels in that church a terrorist. They will not label terrorists that killed 8 Asian people. They will not label terrorists to the people that continually bring us harm, the NYPD. Come on, we're gonna name it. But when you're fighting for your family, when you are fighting for the very right, they will label you a terrorist quickly. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame. That they are too weak to actually recognize that they in fact are the ones who are terrorizing the citizens of the city, that they are terrorizing people all over the world, that they continually terrorize, they intimidate, they antagonize. And for that, when you say, I will not accept it, you are deemed the enemy. When you are literally saying, I will no longer accept for black trans people to be killed because they are women, that is going to label us as a terrorist. Because we really know, family, that the revolution, the very idea of revolution is radical, but it is not terroristic. It is indeed humanitarian. It is indeed human law that we want to have freedom, that we will have our freedom. And we will stop at nothing to get it. We will not stop whenever it gets tired. We will not stop when it's raining. We will not stop when it's snowing. We will not stop when we get tired. We will get our freedom. And we will no longer comply to any system that is trying to shift and mold, or that will tell the community to bend and fold. We will not. We as a community, we will dismantle. We must abolish. And just that very term, abolish, it means a lot. But it is indeed our pathway to freedom. It is indeed our pathway to liberation. It is indeed our pathway to love. That when we reimagine something, we are reimagining ourselves, our future. We're reimagining the way that we show up. And it is not compromised by white supremacy. It is not in the likeness of white supremacy. It will always be in the likeness in favor of each other. The very people that are working towards making it beautiful, strong, and revered. Before we continue, I would like to just address something really quickly. Before we started, a sister was saying that we are emulating. Yes, we are. We are emulating our ancestors. We are emulating all of our blackness. We are emulating our tradition. We are emulating black women. I'm emulating the black women that taught me, that raised me, that gave me this body. I am emulating all of those things. Oh yes. And I will continue to emulate in my likeness. In my likeness. And I won't be judged for emulating. Darling, I am emulating because I will become it. We are becoming it. We are becoming the very thing that they see, the very thing that they do not want us to be. We are becoming it, and that is free. They do not want us to be free. They do not want us to be proud. They do not want us to unite, but we will unite! The people united
Will never be defeated.
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 The people united.
Will never be defeated.
And darling, we can emulate all we want, because it is who we are. Without further ado, honey, I would love for y'all to please open up a path. Open up a path, open up a path, open up a path, open up a path. Oh yes, because honey, the Lady Moses is coming through. Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! Family, the one, the only, my sister, my angel, my keeper, the love of my life, Miss Joelle. Miss Joelle.
I just want to get up here real quick so I can see all the new faces that are in the crowd today. How convenient. When this movement was rebirthed again over the summer, we all agreed that all lives is something we will not be emphasizing. Because all lives do not matter in this country until Black Lives Matter. That is something we all agreed on. Because we understand that the cross the Black person has to bear in this country is undescribable. And there is no comparison. It is wrong, after marching in this movement and telling and screaming Black Lives Matter, to then say, what are Black people doing for me? That does not work if Black Lives Matter, because you should know the work we are doing is benefiting everybody. The work that our ancestors have been doing is benefiting everybody. And I am here to tell you, if you thought we were going to play We Are the World and hold hands together in this space, that's not what was going to happen. That is not solidarity. Solidarity is accountability. The Asian community needs to learn, the Black community needs to unlearn. The systemic racism has controlled all of our lives. We were all raised to hate ourselves, to make fun of ourselves. We were all raised with such horrible stereotypes dictating the way we saw each other. And through this movement, I have unlearned horrible stereotypes. I have acknowledged the things that I have said in my past, in years, was wrong and it was hurtful. Because I knew that I was feeling pain too. That the stereotypes that was being brought upon me the need to want to shave my head because I didn't want my natural hair to be seen. Going into beauty supply stores, and the first thing somebody asks you, do you need, a skin tinting? Do you need some bleach for your skin? Do you want to relax your hair? Or even that, could I even be in that beauty supply store without being followed? But we know it's all of them. It's all of them.
Go to all. Go to all of them.
You're right, Sam.
It is only Black Lives Matter until it matters.
Thank you.
I know every life matters. To me, every life matters. But as Rohan said, our fight has been in unison. Everything Black people have fought for in this country has benefited everyone, especially the Asian community. We need to understand as Black people, though, the hatred that was in our own community. But the difference between hatred and what is seen in the rest of the world is that our hatred is in our minds. The hatred that non-Black people have is in their hearts. Because they know if I can oppress somebody, then I am closer to being white. That is something that needs to be unlearned. Because Asian hate, Asian justice will never be brought if Black people are still dying. You can never end white supremacy towards Asian people if Black people are still facing that same white supremacy. There is not one liberation. There is not multiple liberations, there is only one. And it baffles me. When I am getting arrested, when I am being misgendered, when I am being assaulted, and I come out every single Thursday, and I kept coming out, and I'm gonna keep on coming out, to then see division, to then see what are you doing? You need to do more. I was ready to take a bullet, because Black people's life ain't guaranteed.
Not if you train.
It is not guaranteed. You need to understand that your life is. You get to live a life, we have to survive in ours. And that is not to take away from your experience, because white supremacy, it encompasses everybody. But again, you will never be freed unless Black people are freed. You will never be freed unless Black women are freed. You will never be freed unless Black trans women are freed. Because when Black people was marching, in the 60s specifically, everybody in this space benefited from that. When America was fighting a war against concentration camps while still having Japanese people in concentration camps in this country, African men who were protesting having to be sent into the war were also protesting to end the camps on the West Coast. It is a universal, I don't know how to explain it. Oh yeah, keep it coming. What is it? It is humanity. We are not here watching hate crimes happening and then just scrolling. We are trying to figure out what can we do as Black people to push our narrative that will uplift yours. And one thing that is certain is protesting is the bare minimum. that you can do. But for many people, they're not even doing that, and yet have the most to say. So when somebody asks you something, you end that sentence, well, what are you doing for a black trans woman? And watch the face they make. Now, when I was a child, I always knew exactly who I was because I was always surrounded by such strong and impactful women. Women that you could not tell were going through anything. And when I was a child, I would always watch my grandmother get ready and go to work. She would always let me get ready with her. I would wear her heels. I always wanted to be my grandmother and be the power that she possessed. But I say that because I also was surrounded by a lot of strong men in my life. But I knew the strength that she was giving off to the world was something I needed to do too. And in that moment, I knew exactly who I was. And I have been so blessed to have a grandmother who was so patient with that journey. Because she was on a journey herself, trying to understand, well, what the hell is going on? But, okay, fine. And one thing that I think is so powerful and I'm so grateful for is the fact that she taught me religion. She taught me about God and she taught me about Jesus, but not the white man's God and not the white man's Jesus, not a hateful and spiteful God, but the God that created me to be exactly who I am, that created all of us to be here in this space. And so, I mean, I'm so honored to say that my grandmother is here right now. So, in this space, obviously a space where beauty happens, we want to ensure that that beauty continues to foster and grow within this space and as we exit from this space. Harm is not only sexual abuse, it is not only domestic violence, but it is also in our words. It is in our actions. It is an erasure and ignorance. So at any point you feel, or you know that you have been harmed by somebody who is in this space, please come to the organizers. Let us know. We are here to facilitate an environment that wants to treat people who have caused harm in an abolitionist mindset through restorative and transformative justice. We here have been practicing this mindset. We have been practicing how to carry and facilitate out these actions. So if you, obviously, whoever you feel comfortable, let them come up to us and we can handle and take care of the situation to ensure the safety and to ensure that love remains in this space. So thank you.
Hold on. Can you just give them a little 360 twirl, please? Please. Make some noise! What a gift, family, truly. It is so magical that what we have just witnessed is utterly, utterly magical. What we have witnessed is truly the power of family, the power of love, the power of black love, the power of the people. It is so moving, Joelle, that your family is here to support you, your little sister. It is incredible. It is powerful. And family, I recently had a conversation with my own father. Hold on, mic check?
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Okay, thanks. Okay. Recently had a conversation with my father, who recently had a stroke, and he asked me, well, how long, is this gonna last? And I said, how long is it gonna last? He said, it's gonna last until you see me as the black woman that I am. And I told my father that I wish you much healing and much love. But the reality is, Dad, you did not love God enough to learn how to love me. I'm gonna say that again. I told him that he did not love God enough to learn how to love me. And that is something, family, that people do not know. How to truly love someone. And not because of a scripture, not because of a moral compass that you have been prescribed, because people are human, and that no human is wrong, that any person deserves the right to live, that they should not be shunned because they are queer, trans, because they are gender non-conforming, that they should not be met with violence, because that is what our experiences are. We are met with violence, we are met with oppression, we are met at so many intersections of racism, of white supremacy, that not only will take our life, but it will truly stop everything that we are doing. Every dream that we have will be suspended. And it is for that reason, family, we will not stop fighting. We will not stop fighting. Come on now.
You would not stop me from fighting.
That's right, Josephine.
Fuck out of here.
Okay. You heard it here. So, family, before we continue, I would love if you would please turn to the person to your left and say, I love you. Okay? Turn to the person to your right and say, I will protect you. Thank you. Okay, that's a very sweet thing. Family, okay, thank you, family. When we continue today, when we step out onto the street, mic check?
Mic check!
Thank you.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
All right now. Family, when we step out onto these streets, we are stepping out with intent. We are stepping out with purpose. We are stepping out with the declaration that Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! All right now.
Right now!
And family, if we are met with any opposition, if we are met with any racism, any racist NYPD, we will stand our ground. We will hold our space. At any moment, family, if there's someone crazy, I shouldn't say crazy, if there's someone who's really filled with rage, with white supremacy, who is trying to bring harm to our community, we will say scatter. Scatter! 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 And when we say scatter, family, we're gonna mosey on out the way. And we will do it with quick haste, because we keep us safe. Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe!
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe!
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe!
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe! Okay, I love that.
And family, at any moment during the march, if there is someone who's experiencing any difficulty, any medical need, please place an X over your head and point into the direction that that person is at. Point into the direction. We have amazing medics that are here with us marching tonight that will be there to respond quickly and efficiently with care. Thank you. We want to give a quick shout out to the People's Bodega.